Like it's interesting to kind of see the parody and things like that, where it's like one did the action, one didn't do the action, and the one that did the action got a much later percentage wise than the one that didn't do the action and made a joke about it. It's just it's so surreal to kind of look at these things because you don't know who the fuck you're talking to on the other side of a screen and a keyboard. Is you could be talking to somebody you've wanted to your entire life, or it could be somebody you've never wanted to associate, never wanted to put your name next to. You don't know, and it's just weird. It's and like that's what that shows me. Like any person on Reddit, any person that is making these dumbass Lord of the Rings quotes back to you in a joke, could just be somebody that absolutely could be convicted of murder or anything the next day.
Well, we're at a point now where every single person has some sort of online presence. They're in a community on TikTok or commenting on YouTube videos. So when they commit a crime, they were somewhere online. That's the interesting aspect of modern society is we could have crazy amounts of access to what a school shooter did or what some pedophile was up to online. They have
Not
open
even really,
profiles.
because we saw it with the latest one. They removed his TikTok account 15 minutes after they found out who it was.
Yeah, but then there's other times where, what was it, the Sandy Hook shooter, his Reddit account was not discovered until years after the fact. Some random Redditor was able to piece together his secret, what was it, Reddit account that was linked to a YouTube channel where he was doing recordings of his manifesto on a black screen, and no one pieced together that was him until way down the line, and then once it was discovered, it got deleted. But,
well, you even have things like Osama bin Laden was playing fucking Counter-Strike with people. Like, how weird is it that not you as a you, but
yeah.
like you as a whole, you could be connected to somebody that you don't even know, you don't even understand, you don't even comprehend, just because you play games with them, just because you interacted with somebody on Reddit. Who the fuck knows? Genuinely.
Wasn't that a conspiracy? I don't know if that was debunked or if it's still. It kind of seems like it's true. Epstein's collaborator Maxine. She had a Reddit account, and then she was posting on. She was like a very early Redditor, and the second she got arrested, the Reddit account stopped being used, and there was all these posts that kind of connected it to her that this was probably her account.
I'll look that up. I've never heard of that.
Also, another thing is like because every corner's got a camera now, every Ring doorbell, and also everyone's getting tracked online. A lot more people are getting caught doing things. So the amount of people online, the amount of people getting caught, yeah, you've interacted with a killer at some point, especially with our audience. Who knows what psychopaths are watching right now?
Well, I had that problem. I grew up with somebody. He was my best friend's brother. He was like 2 or 3 years older than us. I moved out of the city. I moved into the fucking sticks, and had babies, had a life building. And like 4 or 5 years ago, he was arrested on attempted murder and assisted murder and everything else, and disposing of a corpse. It's like, if I don't move out of the city, if I don't move out of that friend group, am I a part of that circle? And it's like, that's what ghetto life is. You are a part of that shit. You are friends. You stick together. You support those people. Like, there are timelines, like possibilities of life that could have happened where I'm standing next to him as he's doing that. And that's weird because I'm not that person in the slightest. Will I defend myself? Absolutely. But like, there are timelines where you could just make the wrong decision. You could have had a timeline where you just did that, because who the fuck knows? And it's weird because this timeline, you could be interacting with somebody you just didn't expect. And I looked up the Ghislaine Maxwell possibly being on Reddit. I guess she was a power mod. She was one of the people that was like a moderator on quite a few Reddits. And her name was Maxwell Hill. Last name spelled actually properly with Hill at the end of it. And I guess she talked about quite a few things, including Pizzagate.
Very interesting.
Yeah, no, it's interesting to kind of see the overlap in some of these things, because, these people they're around us. And
I play League of Legends. That is just like a mental asylum, so...
She had over 1 million karma. Like, this person was around. What the fuck is this?
Yeah, and then like
Like-
all the pedos that like large Minecraft or any kind of children's game YouTubers, that stuff comes out.
Not, they say high likelihood, 18 to 90% likely her.
Who came up with those odds?
I don't know. It's this website, Metaculus. I would assume it's a rip off of Calculus and Meta, but they're saying that this is one of her accounts. I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, it seems most likely the case.
Yeah. No, it's interesting because I never heard of that, and this is rather interesting to kind of see that somebody's pointing the finger, and the fact that it just disappeared as soon as the fact she's arrested. It doesn't interact anymore. It kind of makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, so I mean, reiterating that she still never reappeared on the account after all these years,
And it's deleted now.
and it's deleted now, makes me believe that it was probably her. Luckily, all that stuff got archived, just because there's a lot of people digging into it.
The account ceased posting around Maxwell's arrest, possibly due to harassment.
Harassment.
Yeah.
Harassing women online. That's the
Low
moral of the
likelihood,
story.
10%. Their opinions on it are the mainstream media did not cover the issue at all beyond acknowledging the rumors. No confirmed identity, which would make sense, you retards. And the link between Maxwell's arrest and the account's inactivity needs confirmation. No, if the account was no longer active and she was no longer posting, that is a connection. Like, I'm sorry, that is rather straightforward. You don't need fucking brain games to figure that out.
I mean, I feel like you could have done like a Freedom of Information Act request to like ask if like she was logged into a Reddit account on her computers or something along those lines.
She had a secret Tumblr account too. I just found that. It was posted 4 days ago.
That was just
Yeah.
discovered 4 days ago.
That was just discovered 4 days ago.
Isn't that crazy how there's like these like massive criminals that it's just being
The
discovered
apparent
right
Tumblr
now?
account has not been mentioned in court documents other than when it was reviewed by Business Insider. So this has been completely removed from everything. So even in one of the largest cases that they've uncovered and shown, it is still, half of this is hidden. Half of this is gone. What the fuck is going on?
Well, I mean, even something like with the Columbine massacre, it's still kind of gray area of what happened there or why they did it because of the basement tapes never being released. I don't know.
Well, I think that's why everybody wanted the pictures of Osama released too. Was like, prove it, prove that it's real, prove that this happened. So I underestimated what the fuck they said when she was a power Redditor. U Maxwell Hill, the Reddit account with the 8th most link karma of all time, power mod of front page subs and an account reach to 1 million karma daily is her account. She is the 8th largest Redditor of all time. More than likely, every single person on this call, every single person that we are in contact with, has at minimum read one of her posts.
Yeah.
At
Crazy
minimum.
to think about. That was just her hobby. Typical Redditor.
Typical shit poster. It's weird because all of us then technically are a part of this, and we all should be suing for parts of this $1 million lawsuit that will come within a couple of years. We've all been affected.
Class action.
We just got to set up a class action against her. Class action against
We'll all
Epstein
make 2
Society.
cents off of if you could prove that you've seen one of her posts. It's traumatizing.
It is traumatizing. I dealt with Ghislaine Maxwell. You don't think I'm uncomfortable?
Yeah.
That's weird. That's really fucking weird to know that, she even was part of the Reddit circles and the YouTube circle. You know that the second that somebody powerful like that gets in those circles, they're a part of them.
Except that's like the least surprising thing to me, that she was like a part of the high up Reddit circle. Oh no! Who would have guessed that was a possibility?
Oh, it doesn't shock me like that. It shocks me like it should have been known.
This is one of the things that I've always wondered is who are these giant Reddit mods that seem to be able to spend 8 hours a day plus on Reddit for free, and a person like Maxine it actually makes sense just because of the fact she didn't have a real job. She was just kind of procuring children for Epstein and his associates.
Bill Clinton.
Bill Clinton, all those people. She probably didn't really have much work to do. So what did she spend her days doing? Just on Reddit. It does kind of add up.
No, and it's really, really interesting to kind of see the fact that they are normal people. Like, they might have more money than us. And I don't know if you guys dealt with this too. As a young kid, because of how poor I was, I saw people that were fucking rich as different. They didn't want to do the same things I did. They wanted to eat caviar and drink fucking wine and do wine mom shit and not really give a fuck. But you see them slowly be more and more degenerate. Like when you're looking at fucking Elon on Twitter, when you're doing this shit and you see fucking Ghislaine Maxwell pop up as the 8th largest Reddit mod in history. What in the fuck genuinely is happening? They are just like me and you. They just had more of an availability to the funds to do more of what you want to do. Like, that's weird. That's weird because, like, I don't know if either of you guys felt that, but, like, to me, they were different. They saw the world differently. They saw that availability differently. They might not have shit on the poor people, but they did see, like, I saw that as a difference. And I guess, I don't know, I might be alone, but...
Yeah, my brain doesn't know how to, like, take in this information on the spot. I'm just like, what does it mean? I don't know. The internet's crazy.
Well, to me, it's just like that degeneracy isn't connected to wealth. That degeneracy is kind of always there in humans, it seems like. Whether it's...
philosophical.
I know.
I think the problem is with people like that, where you have just unlimited money and unlimited power and access to whatever you want. You have access to things that just a general person doesn't ever have the ability to obtain. Most people don't have the means or connections to have a private island where you're just like taking random girls from countries and bringing them to it on private jets. That's a top 0.1% thing to do. But that's why I actually kind of believe that there might be a bit of a conspiracy with all these celebrities involved in this stuff. Is imagine you get to that level of society and then hey, there's this guy Epstein, you get on his plane, even if you're not attracted to little girls, there might be an attractive 17-year-old girl on there, end up doing something. The second that you do it, now you're part of the conspiracy as well. You're not going to run your mouth ever. And you multiply that by dozens of the most rich and famous people in the world, even though there's not like an actual like ritual everyone's doing on Epstein Island in the little house at the top of it. Everyone's going to keep their mouths shut and not go forward. It's the same thing as like hazing at like a fraternity. You get hazed, you do a bunch of degenerate stuff, some gay things, and then you're now part of the brotherhood, and you're never going to run your mouth or badmouth anyone else in that fraternity ever, Skull and Bones or any of those sort of secret organizations at campuses, because you're now part of it. They have dirt on you. You have dirt on them.
I have the entire list of the points that they have as evidence for this to be her account. And if we're treading too far into this, just say
I feel like
something.
we're maybe spinning.
Yeah, you're gonna get demonetized for sure.
Oh, demonetized. It is what it is. But like as a whole, this is kind of interesting. So she is the first Redditor to collect 1 million karma. 12th most linked karma now. She was 8th when she stopped posting. Nearly every day posted, 14 years up until her arrest. Winter doesn't start until December 21st. I guess she claimed her birthday was in December, and Wikipedia shows her birthday as December 25th. She gripes about overzealous child protection laws, posts articles on why we should legalize children exploitation, discusses age of consent with various countries here and here. Moderator of Our Environment, small subreddit Enviro Action, and posts about ocean protection. Maxwell Hill is a combination of her surname, Maxwell, and her family estate in the UK, Headington Hills. And the account spams strictly liberal propaganda, which doesn't seem to have been mentioned anywhere, and doesn't mention absolutely anything Epstein related.
Yeah, it was probably her.
Yep. But yeah, it's interesting. And another person that's kind of interesting in this kind of realm to me